Welcome back, guys. This is the first video in a two-part series that I'm doing all about general study tips. Again, this is a video for any type of student, any degree or major, and today's video is about the perfect study routine. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and we will get started. Our goal is to see our class's material as many times as possible before our exams. This way we can get good test grades, right? So I have come up with a study routine that I am happy to share with you guys that will allow you to see the material 3 different times before you even start studying for your exams. Every professor will tell you that a good student comes prepared to class. So what does it mean to be prepared for class? To me, it simply means that you've seen the material once before. This will help you to ask questions during class so that you fully understand the material, and it will make sure that you are able to take notes efficiently so that studying is easier later on. Almost every professor will give you a syllabus on the first day of class that lists all the chapters that they will be teaching every week. It is up to you to read the textbook chapters before they get lectured on. I like to take those smaller post-it notes and put them on the lines with important information. Some people also like to take notes on the entire chapter before class, and then during class they can just add to their notes the things that they missed or that the professor emphasized. It is a great idea, and if you have the time, go for it, but sometimes I find that you're wasting time taking notes because typically the professor will only teach on the really important parts of the chapter, and so by taking notes on the entire chapter, you're just wasting your own time. But if that works for you, go ahead. I tried it one year, but it was stressing me out too much because it just took so much time. Another way that you can come prepared to class is by reading the PowerPoints that professors post online. Simply downloading it and skimming it is great. Either way, just looking at the material once, even if you only take 10 minutes to skim through it, will help class go smoother. If you think about it this way, if you've already looked at the material once before class, even just skimming through it, then the second time you're seeing it is during class, which means class time is just study time. And who doesn't want to say that they had an extra hour of study time over everyone else in their class? The second time you should be seeing your class material is during your actual lecture time. Obviously, my number one tip here is to pay attention and listen to your professor. They're the ones testing you, so hopefully they're teaching you the things you need to know to get good grades. The other tip I have is to take good quality notes that you'll want to study later. I posted a video last week all about note taking, and you should definitely check it out if you're interested. The third time you should be seeing your class material is after class. I suggest before you go to bed that night, rereading your notes. It should only take 10 to 15 minutes to read all your notes through. And I'm not saying full-on study and memorize, but just looking at them one more time will help you later on when you start studying for your exams. For the last part of this video, I wanted to go over the actual study schedule or study routine that I use to make sure I see my material 3 different times. This study schedule will change depending on which class schedule you have. From what I know, there are 3 different types of schedules you may have. A block schedule where you have your class every other day, which I believe is the most common for high school and college. You may also have your class every single day, or you could have your class weekly for a longer period of time. For block classes, you basically have 2 days in between each of your classes. So you'll go to class, and then that night you'll reread your lecture notes. Then the next day you'll take a break from the class, and just that night you need to make sure that you're prepared for the class the next day. And you start over. You go to class, you reread, you take a break, and you get prepared. The other schedule you'll have is everyday classes. Typically this is for a higher credit class, say 5 credits, so you go for an hour every single day of the week. This is a little harder because you only have 1 day in between your classes. So you'll go to class in the morning, and then that night you have to reread and get prepared for the next day. The last class schedule that you'll have is a weekly class. This is the case for my nursing school classes. We'll go to lecture for 4 hours once a week, and we'll typically go over 4 different chapters. This means that I have 4 chapters to reread and 4 chapters to pre-read for the next week. So what I like to do is I'll go to class, say I go to class Monday, and then Tuesday I reread 2 chapters, Wednesday I reread 2 chapters, And then Thursday, I will pre-read 2 chapters, and Friday, I'll pre-read 2 chapters. And then that leaves the weekend open for any assignments or projects that I need to do. Obviously, your study routine will change depending on your personal schedule. If this didn't work for you, that's okay. Do whatever will bring you success. This study routine has been helpful to me in all my different types of class schedules, and I hope that it's helpful to you too. If you've found success with this study schedule, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear your success stories, and go ahead and hit subscribe to my channel because I have part 2 of this video coming up next week. See you guys then.